Hello everybody, it is Jasmine of the Crochetery here, and I'm not very excited for today's video. I will be completely honest right up front. I'm not very excited about this. But let's get into it because I kind of already bought the product, so they kind of already got my money. Today, I'm finally tackling the Woobles. Now, they came out with a book. I don't know when that occurred, but I saw it when I was peeping other crochet books, and Michael's actually bought one that I do want to turn into a video series on the channel. So I'm not going to show you that one just yet. We're going to do the Woobles first. But yeah, it is the Woobles, the brand, right there. Crochet amigurumi for every occasion. Every occasion. It's an occasional book. It is 21 easy projects to celebrate life's happy moments by, I'm probably going to say their name wrong, so I apologize, Justine Tu. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce her name. I believe there is a picture of her in the back here. I did like gander around in the book, obviously, because I bought it, so I was like looking around in it. Yes, there is a section about the author. I was right. There is her. I'm not going to show too much of the actual like inside the book itself, just because I feel like that's a little disrespectful. Like, you know, they spent all this hard time making the book, and it would be wrong of me just to like put it in a YouTube video and just like show it. So I'm not going to show like any instructions explicitly. I'm going to show like the extent of them, but in terms of like instructions themselves, you're going to have to buy this too. It retailed for $24.99, which is the typical price of a crochet book. I can't be that mad at that. It does have a little thing on the back, 21 giftable projects. Now, the occasions that they have listed within the book is engagement parties, baby showers, housewarmings, and birthday parties, which is actually like kind of a fun assortment of things. There's easy to follow start to finish experience, which there is, I will be honest. And there is video tutorials. I didn't look at any of the video tutorials. I'm not that much of a beginner. Obviously, I've been here for years, so I don't need them per se, but it is useful for the people who do need them. And if you come in here and open it up, it actually is a really cute book. We have our index here, and it comes with all of the patterns. Let's go through and show you actually what we have here. Okay, now that I've gone through a big chunk of pages, this many pages in the front of the book are simply just instructions on how to do the basic concepts of crochet. And I'm going to show you 2 pages. That's all you're getting. And it is just the like dynamics of stuffing and adding eyes. So it's not actually showing you any of the patterns or actually anything about learning how to crochet, because I felt like this was the least offensive page that I could show. But it shows tons of pictures, tons of written instructions with the numbers next to the beginning of the sentence, with the numbers on the pictures clearly marked, so that way you can see step by step with the photo references. And I think that is pretty cool. Obviously, that is ideal that you can see the picture references, especially if you don't want to watch the videos. I do like how many instructions there are, because like that many instructions is crazy. It's not usually in a crochet book, but this one is more of a beginner's kit. The Woobles is a beginner's kit. I just noticed this was like a yellow color. That's actually kind of nice against the purple. But I will show you all of the patterns. I'm obviously not going to make them all today. We're going to go one at a time. But we have a couple birds, a couple pears, a peas in a pod, and some bears here. This is the engagement section. So this is supposed to be that. I do want to show you like the bear thing because I think it's kind of funny. We're going to go like this so you can't read any of the instructions, but right here it shows exactly what you need: the yarn, the style number, the video instructions. Ooh, the video instructions. It's okay, nobody saw that. But this I think is so funny because it says just boobled right here, and I think that's hilarious. Like, come on, that's amazing. Next is the baby shower bits. We've got like a little bee, a little frog. I don't know why this one's like a hole, to be completely honest. A little seagull with a fish in its mouth, a like lovey, interestingly enough, and a little sheep, and then a little mobile over here with an astronaut, a planet, a star, and a rocket ship. And this page in general looks really nice. I like the concept of it. All right, next up we have housewarming. We've got like a koala bear here, a little cactus, and I'm not gonna lie, the cactus is like my favorite one out of the bunch because it just looks so cute, but I am just a botanist lover in general. So there's a little mushroom here. There's an actual like cat tray. This one is a crochet pattern in here. And then this little octopus on top. And I just want to point out that there's like these little things around the cocktail glasses in this page. They're not actually patterns for this book, so I feel like that part's a teeny bit misleading. Just a little bit. It's still a cute design. I like how they're on there. Just saying, there's no actual pattern for that in here. And this is our final section. This is our birthday section. We've got a sloth holding some balloons. They're classic T-Rex and a birthday hat. We have a little dog, or like a pug, I think, and wearing the birthday cake, actually. And then we've got a bear over here who is the birthday cake. And I believe that is all of the patterns. The rest of this little bit of the book is simply just the patterns, and then there's a little bit about the author in the back, the thank yous, just more about the Woobles in general, acknowledgements, so on and so forth, things that are in a typical book. But now I will get into why I said dreadfully doing the Woobles. I have nothing against the Woobles as a brand. I think their kits are adorable. I've definitely seen a few of them and wanted them for myself because I'm like, they're actually like really cute. They do a lot of licenses. Actually, I've seen quite a few different ones. I've seen like big movies, games, like large brands in general. I don't know if they still have them, but I know they had like an entire Sanrio line for a while, and my friend was also very tempted to get a couple of those because they had a cute cinnamon roll that she wanted, and I also thought it was pretty cute. But I've not bought a Woobles specifically because I know that I won't enjoy it, and I know I will give a biased review of not liking the Woobles. And I don't really think that's all that fair. It's just, there's two things that I don't like with the Woobles itself. This yarn that they use, that they give with beginner kits, and it is a complaint that I have with a lot of crochet beginner kits. I don't think this yarn is beginner friendly at all. I would honestly give somebody Burnett Blanket before I give them this yarn. It's just not a great yarn. I believe it's like a t-shirt or a polyester yarn. But the problem is when you try crocheting it with a small hook, which is often what crochet kits recommend, is a smaller size hook in comparison to what is recommended for it. It gives off like a hole vibe. Like it gives you holes in the project because it makes it harder to grab all of the yarn, so then all of the yarn becomes barf whilst you're trying to crochet it. At least in my opinion, it does that. I just don't really like that yarn, and then I try to use sizes up, and then it makes the holes. So I'm either stuck with a holy project of bullcrap, or I am stuck with pure frustration whilst crocheting, and that's just not what I like. So I don't like this type of yarn. So I knew going into it I would be very argumentative about the yarn, so I wasn't going to have a good experience, therefore I wasn't going to give a good review. And two, I am more of a frugal person. This was a purchase and a half already. Being $24.99 for 21 patterns is pretty great. That's a good deal. I do like crochet books. They are pretty good money's worth, so this I can justify. However, a lot of the Woobles kits retail for like $30 each for one pattern and enough to make one singular of the item. That's just not a lot in my opinion. Like for $30, I want to be able to make it two things, because then it's like $15 per one that I make. I understand with more of the licensing ones that they probably have to be higher because you're buying the copyrights or whatever. I'm not really sure how that works, like legally speaking. But when it's your own pattern and you're making it and it's $30, I'm like, that's a lot of money. I don't really want to spend that much money on a kit that I know that I probably won't like. However, this is a book, and for $24.99, which is cheaper than one of their crochet kits, I already know how to crochet, so I can read this pretty fine, just reading it itself. I get to use whatever yarn that I want, so I can't complain about that. And I already have all of the materials, so it's not like I'm going out of my way to need to buy a ton of things. So I think this I can give more of a fair and honest review of. I do like how it is so beginner friendly as the Woobles is. So already that is a plus in my books. I'm not sure how large these are, if they work with multiple size yarns. I'm gonna have to test that. We will see. I'm not sure exactly which one I'm going to start with today. I know I said that I like the cactus, but I like the cactus, so I don't want to make that one first. So I think I'm just gonna go like this, and we're gonna do whatever this one is. We're making Hubert the Frog. That's the one I landed on. 100% guarantee for a hoppy baby shower. Allows to introduce Hubert the Frog, who is very happy to meet you. Still not completely sure what it is. It is a perfect partner to help any tadpole shake, rattle, and roll their way into a happy good time. Okay. What do we need for? Do I need something then for that? No, it doesn't look like it. So it shows size 4 yarn. Easy peasy, I have that. Some embroidery thread, easy peasy, I've got that. The crochet hook, I'm going to upsize that because I'm not using that small of a hook. Then it just says stuffing stitch markers or tapestry needles. So I don't actually need a rattle or anything. It looks pretty easy, pretty straightforward. So I'm going to make Hubert the Frog and I'll be Alright, I'm back. We got the Woobles. I did Herbert the Frog for today. I'm saying this as if it's not been like 30 minutes for me. Well, it hasn't been 30 minutes. I made the frog and then I went and did other things. You can see I'm wearing a different shirt now. My hair is like kind of curly. I just want to point it out, like it's a little like crazy right now. But the Woobles. So Herbert the Frog, I had to check to make sure that was the one that I did today. I made it in a weight 4 yarn and then a weight 6 yarn just to see how they would vary. I don't think this one's a good like test for that since it's intended to be a baby rattle and not a plushie itself. The pattern though that was written in here is super easy to understand, especially for a beginner. Even in like parts of the pattern it would say you're gonna use a whip stitch to close it, and then I was like, if you need reference again, it's on this page from all the way at the beginning. So I do like how they point back to where you would need to reference the beginning section in the pattern. That's pretty nice for beginners. But I didn't embroider the eyes, to be honest, which it told me to do, so I didn't listen. I just opted to painting them instead because I'm going to have no use for these, so I might use one of them for decoration, and then the other one's gonna probably be in the trash can. But first we have this Herbert, which is the weight 6 yarn, and I used a 7mm hook to do it. It was a small little ball of green yarn. I had like this much, teeny tiny little ball. Great stash buster, might I add. It is kind of cute. I could see the appeal in a kid just like, ooh, I just got paint on me, just like flinging it around like that. I could see the appeal in it. The paint looks good from a distance. I mean, up close, I'll be honest, paint is not the greatest answer for this type of yarn, but again, I'm not keeping this. I'm not gifting this to anybody. I did it just as a test, but it did get rid of a small little random ball of yarn that I had no reason holding on to. So, and then we have this little guy, which as a baby rattle, again, I could see it just like flinging it like that. It's much more stiff than the other one is. But, couple things. One, it is super cute and super tiny, so I'm probably going to keep it for decor. 2, it is painted again. It is a lot better looking on smaller yarn. And 3, as you can tell from this yarn, it is not the typical weight for acrylic. It is actually an acrylic yarn from Michaels from Loops and Threads. They have a like version of a 4-weight yarn that just looks like a plush yarn, but it's not velvet. It's like an actual, like, it feels like plush yarn, but it's a weight 4 yarn. It's actually kind of nice. I need to get some more of it. I only got a couple of balls, and this was a random loose ball lying around. Again, also a scrap ball. The size difference is pretty notable between the two, so I think if I were to make a plushie, they would come out in some pretty good, decent sizes. So I'm excited to see what it would look like in an actual like plushie, because these ones are just like the baby rattles. In a beginnerness level, it's great for beginners. In a crochet book level, I'm more used to more advanced ones, but it is nice every once in a while to just be able to steamroll through a project. I think it took me 30-45 minutes to make this little guy. It was super easy. The base, I think, is like 7 rows, and then the eye things are only 3, and then the sewing's not too bad because it's just 3 little pieces. So in terms of like beginnerness level, it's pretty cute. I could see this being like a weird hair tie in some extent if you were to put an elastic in the middle before closing it to maybe double the usage instead of it just being designed as a baby rattle, or if you were to make this a little bit longer and just add a couple of blank rows, and before you close it you could make like a frog donut, which would also be another way to use this pattern other than just a baby rattle. Just a couple of ideas for reusage, because obviously if you're buying a crochet book, you want to be able to reuse the pattern for multiple gifts or for market selling. I could see this selling kind of at a market. Sometimes baby items are popular, sometimes they are not. It really just depends on your audience that you get at a market. So I don't know, like that's why I'm like trying to like more ideas, people. But yeah, already top of my head, there's 3 ideas for this little pattern. Well, they came up with 1. I came up with 2 additional ones, I'll be honest. But that is 1 pattern out of this book, 1 out of 21. So there's still 20 more patterns I can do. So if you want to see me do another one of these Woobles, let me know in the comments down below. I probably will do more of them on my own because this cactus is calling me. I want to make it. I also think the little astronaut was cute. I think the wedding couple's cute. And you know I gotta do the classic dinosaur in like the actual kit. I think I'm gonna buy a roll of this awful yarn just to give a full review of this damn dinosaur. But I think that is it for this video. I'm going to do some more of these. If you want to see a specific one done first, you can comment down below and be like, I love the octopus on the cover. Can we do that one next? And then I'll do that. I'll do that one next. So if you have ideas on what you want to see next, let me know. For now, that's all.